This is exciting. I've made a new camera mount. So now I can talk to you without having to try and hold and do all this at the same time. Right, so update on the lamps. These. So, as you know before, we finished those. So they're ready to rock, which is brilliant. Now we're going to work on the tops. So how these are made are put together pretty well actually. There's a cap that holds four sides in. It's got a lens in each side and it's got its little coat top and then that sits on top. It rivets. You can see those two holes there. There's rivet holes here, which are pretty weak because there is inherently art. Unless you've got massive rivets, they just don't hold. They only hold temporarily. So we need to make a better version of that. And also in the lid, you've got the handle which is just riveted as well here. No good. No good for what we need. And then these two massive gaps which are going to let the weather through. Which will get onto these. Now these are pretty waterproof, but we want to be a little bit more resilient than that because we want these to last a few years rather than just this year. So number one job is to seal these gaps. Now what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to use beautiful lighting gel. So obviously old and recycled, so we will cut that with our scissors to shape and fill them in here, and then we will glue gun them in. Brilliant. So that's my first thing. I'm probably going to do, maybe I'm going to do one. I'm going to do one lamp, and then we'll see what it looks like once we cut all this in and glue it, and hopefully I'll be able to film some of that because I don't have to hold the phone. It's very exciting. So anyway, let's do the gel bit first, and then we'll do the screwy bit in later. Okay. I made a cup of tea. I forgot to go and get it again. I'll do it in a minute. Right, so I've taken the lid and I've taken the top and the handle off. So I've removed all the rivets from in here. And then the handle's actually quite thick steel, so I'm going to be quite controversial with this. And when I put this back together with this, we're going to use little tech screws, which I'm sure you guys probably know. And these little things here, and they got like a, you can't see that, can you? It's like a little drill bit on the end of it with a thread. But because that's steel is much thicker than the lid, which is actually, looking at it closely, it looks like copper. I'm actually going to drill it from the inside out into this because this is much thicker. So this will hold a much better thread than that will. So, and then what I'll do is I'll glue gun the outside to make it look like solder or something like that, or welding, and then it'll seal it and it will be much more stronger. And then also, so I've cut some lighting gel, so that's the strip, so those there, I'm going to hot glue gun those into there, so that'll seal that, and then that should make a really nice seal for the top then, all the way around, for a nice protective shield. Cup of tea. A bit of a clean up. That's it. So that's the windows sealed. See that? Brilliant. So we'll do that with each of those. I'm going on to the blue glue because we don't need white and there's so much, I've got so much blue glue gun. When do you need a blue glue gun stick? Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty good. That'll hold the water out. So time to now that's windows are glued in. Here's our handle. So this is going to go the other side of this. I'm going to use the little tech screws to screw through there and then into this. So let's have a look. Okay, let's make the part all in there first. Okay, we know where that's going to be now. I want that to be roughly in sync with this one. So that's going to be about there. Okay. Right, before we tighten that one up, we'll get the next one in so that we're not trying to hold it against itself. Okay, one moment. Should be right. There we go. We don't want to over tighten them, otherwise the thread's just going to strip off. So give it a little pinch up, so you can feel that. Very good. Much stronger. That is not going anywhere. So now last bit to do is to glue some glue over these, hot glue gun over these, so they're not sticking out, and we'll make a little something out of that. I don't want to cut them off in case I have to take this off and redo it again later. We'll waste the screws. Brilliant, all right. Here comes that blue glue. Very nice. Okay. There we go. Let that dry, and then we'll mount it to this, and then we'll put the inside in, and then later we'll do some spraying on this, and then that'll be it. That times 50 odd. That's better. Not too over tighten. There. There we go. We will paint that top, and then underneath we've got 2 screw holes for the lamp. So on the day we will set the lamp going. Pop that in there. We'll put the 2 screws in the bottom. If you can't do that at the moment with a screwdriver or screws. But there you go. That's it. That is good to go. That is like ready, ready, ready. There we go. One lamp. So that's it. We'll have these around the show, probably about 40 or 50 of these, to illuminate the ways in the evenings for the reenactors. That's pretty good, isn't it? Nice and solid, good structure. Thank you all for watching. I've no idea what's coming next. That is the magic of creating the White Horse Military Show. Thank you.